Well, hello. It is Thursday. It is Caz and Daz show time. Brought to you by FocusHoops. Caz, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Super excited for our very special guest. Not you. That way.
No, that way. Yeah.
Then we got loads of basketball. WNBA is back. WBBL final. NBL finals. Playoffs soon. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife before this. I was like, yeah. It's going to be a quick show. We've got like Robyn Love. So that's awesome. Robyn Love, everybody. Woo! We got Robyn Love, and but there's not been a lot of basketball going on. And then I did prep, and it's like, oh my god, there's so much to talk about. We've got WNBA. It is back, and some very exciting things for me personally about that. WNBL. We've got the playoffs. We've got a lovely bracket, a proper bracket. More on that later. WBBL finals and a couple of things in Europe. They actually finished the French playoffs, and it was dramatic. No spoilers, Caz. People want to know, but not right now. Robyn Love, how have you been?
Really good. Training hard, keeping busy. Getting rained on.
Getting rained on. Have you been training outdoors today, or is this just?
Oh no, this is what happened. So I've got naturally like curly hair. Last time you got the straightened inside all day look, and today you've got the being rained on in Manchester look, which is my hair is naturally curly, so it just goes like this if it just looks at water. So this is why people are like, oh, why'd you wear a headband? These little hairs, like, what are they about? I didn't cut them this short. They're just this short.
Oh, the baby hairs.
Yeah, so that's why I wear headbands, people.
There we go.
Learn all the facts.
Just in case you have never encountered Robyn Love before, well, now you have, you lucky ducks. Robyn is, of course, GB wheelchair basketball star, Paralympian, lover of Frank Hot Sauce, amongst other accolades.
That's my biggest one, I have to say.
I mean, I watched that video again last night and I popped. I just died laughing, especially at the end. If you've not seen the video Caz put out last night, or FocusHoops put out last night, watch it back. So, Robyn, first question from me is, how are your hands? Because the last time we saw you, they were pretty gnarly because you'd not been long back in the wheelchair. So how are they holding up?
They're actually a lot better. So for people who don't know, obviously these in wheelchair basketball are our breaks. And when you haven't trained very much, or you just get back to training, your hands are all soft and you get lots of blisters and cuts and splits. And fortunately, they kind of roughen up a bit, really sexy. So mine are good. I did have a few splits because I didn't moisturise. Again, the detail of wheelchair basketball just goes next level. It's funny because we were at camp in Loughborough for our bubble camp, and I was helping some of the kind of more rookie kind of players manage their hands, and it's the Savlon and the plasters. It really is a regime that we've got going on. So it felt good to pass on my blister knowledge.
They talk about that with like weightlifters and stuff and grip strength guys. So is there a lot of that? Is there a lot of just grip strength? Because I don't know how
we do actually. We actually get tested on our grip strength by our physio every like 3 to 6 months. It's a really good indicator of shoulder health, how good your grip is. I'm actually not going to boast, but one of the best in the team at grip strength, just saying. But yeah, it is a test. You have to grab this thing, and it just tells you the physio number. So it is something we work on. But when you've got a blister on your hands and you're trying to grab your wheel, doesn't matter how good your grip is, that pain will still be there.
That is not. So if, let's say, somebody is looking after the pandemic to get up to Sheffield to pick up a wheelchair basketball invitation, how would such a person who sits behind a desk all day get their hands ready?
It's just one of those things. Like, there's all these rumors, like about like when you go into the army and they tell you to like put your feet in what is it, like methylated spirits, or to harden them up. That's what I was told when I first. Is it methylated spirits or the one that you buy from Boots? I don't know. Other pharmacies are also available. Obviously,
like terps.
Yeah, like to like put your hands in it to like roughen up make the skin hard. I didn't do that though. I think you've just got to know that when you first start, you are going to get some ripped skin. But it's not too bad, and as long as you manage it okay, it'll clear up within like 2 and 3 days. My regime is Savlon, put a plaster on it, have it on overnight, and then if you're training the next day, take it off just before you train, because it's not like the blister that hurts. It's if it dries out and then it splits, that's the most painful. I know people are like loving this right now, but honestly, this is wheelchair basketball geek right here. This is what I love talking about.
I mean, I don't know about you, Caz, but I like talking about the minutiae things and like just I don't know, because again, it's something that I hadn't really considered until we saw the pictures of your hands after you'd been back outside training for a little bit, and it's like, oh, that's not something I'd considered before. So there we go.
Yeah, and outside, of course, you have to consider bird poo and stuff as well. So I'm glad that we're back inside and don't have to worry about that as much.
The hazards of UK outdoor basketball.
Yeah, Vicky Gray on her beach in the Cayman Islands playing basketball is a little bit different.
I think she's rubbing it in everyone's faces.
Yeah, too right. Good for her. So now, we did see on the social media and Instagram and etc. Loughborough, and I was like, oh, has Robyn Love signed for the Loughborough women's pro team? Like, are these like spoilerinos? I don't know. So what have you been doing in Loughborough?
So for us to play 5-on-5, we have to go into bubble camps, and Loughborough have got the best setup really for that. So they've got like an elite athlete hotel, where quite a few. So like when we were leaving the other day, the Irish football team were coming in. When we were leaving before that, the England under-21s rugby were coming in. So it really is an elite hotel, like with nutrition, specialised rooms. And obviously the basketball facilities are second to none, used by Leicester Riders, of course. So we train there every kind of 2 weeks in a bubble camp, so we can play 5v5. Because outside of that, we're in groups of 6 or 7, just doing 3v3 stuff, just to make it extra safe for us. Really, that's the thing.
How have you found it getting back into 5-on-5? Because when you were here with us last time, just before Christmas, I think you were maybe just about to be able to be in partners, or you were just on one stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I've forgotten how to pass to the other side. So it's been, they're like, why didn't you pass? I'm not used to it yet. Like, we're only used to passing to the middle and then getting the ball back again. So having that other option is, that catch and shoot, especially, or in wheelchair basketball, we call it like a curl side. Usually you'll have a high pointer, a tall player, and a low pointer working on that side, that when the help comes over to the shooter side, they kind of curl them in, curl the bigs into the key. So having that option and our players getting to work on that has been really nice.
So let's, I think we should start, if that's all right with you, start with the big news that broke a couple of months ago now. The British Wheelchair Basketball Women's Premier League, which is incredibly exciting. Like, people in my day job have been coming up to me and being like, hang on a minute, wheelchair professional women's basketball. Tell me more. So Robyn Love, tell me more.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, bit of history. So wheelchair basketball below international level is mainly mixed, men and women together. With the point system counting for that. So when we play with men, I get a 1.5 off of me, or how we like to say it is the team on court gets an extra 1.5 points added on to the whole team. Usually that's kind of meant in a team that you'll only really get 1-2 women playing for a club, or for a team, should I say, with more in the club, depending on how many teams have got in the league. For example, my club, the Owls, who are Manchester based, I was the only woman kind of last season because Laurie decided not to do it. But before that, it was only myself and Laurie who were on the team, on the Premier League team as women. And even then, we wouldn't get on court together because of the way the points work out. So now there's an opportunity for the first time. There has been a women's league before, which is 3 weekends out of the year, more kind of like a rock up and play. So teams wouldn't really train together. They would just rock up in the weekends and play, which has been great. And my first ever team was Angels of the North, the women's league team. And I honestly don't think that I would be where I am today if I didn't have that experience with them. They really allowed me to grow on court and get into play with and against other women. Can't beat it. So it's exciting that for this Women's Premier League, we're actually going to get to train together with elite players. Hopefully we'll get some from abroad as well into the squads, which will be really exciting. So it is actually the first of its kind in the world. Like, this isn't
amazing.
Yeah, so it's not just, great for Britain, like they've done it, they've caught up with Europe. No, we are actually the kind of driving force behind this. We're kind of blazing the trail. There is a professional league in Europe where women can play in it, but again, it's the same setup for National League here, where there are one or two women in the teams, but again, usually they're not on the court at the same time, or it's not really conducive for all women to go over and play. It kind of they usually low pointers go. There's a lot of one point females out there doing a great job in Europe. A few high pointers, Rose Holman doing an unreal job in Gran Canaria. It's great if you find a club that really want to get you better. But again, she's only female at that club. So having in Britain 4 universities that I've been partnered with, so Cardiff, University of East London, Loughborough and Worcester. So there's an opportunity for females to train together and play together for the first time, which is just unreal to me. I'm just so excited. I can't believe that in 2021 I'm having to say that I'm excited that this is a thing, because it should have been a thing a long time ago. But
absolutely.
For me, I just think it's brilliant that British wheelchair basketball are leading the way.
I saw a quote from Amy Conroy that said she didn't think something like this would happen in her lifetime, and I just thought that's amazing that you guys kind of wouldn't even think that this could happen, and it has. And I guess with it being the women's league, you can hope to attract that elite talent from around the world to come here and play. Oh,
exactly. We didn't think it would happen in our lifetime, and it does seem crazy. Like, because when I first found out about wheelchair basketball, 6 years ago, I started to play, and I was like, what? Like, I play with men, or is this just for the recreational league? But when it gets higher up, I'll play with women. Surely, that's normal. But no, and I guess in some ways it is fun, and people do like it. And I think that there's definitely a place for it, as there is, there's tag rugby, for example, which is mixed men and women, able-body sport. There's korfball, I think that's mixed as well.
Yes, it is, yeah.
So there are sports that can be mixed, but for me, just the option. And as well, when we play internationally with and against women, you need to be able to have the foundation below that in order to feed that elite kind of platform. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before, that didn't really exist. So I really do think it's going to elevate women's national teams around the world. I think it'll help the German team get better, the Dutch team get better, the USA team get better, the French team get better, the Spanish team get better. It's not just about Britain, it's about, women's wheelchair basketball, which is a phrase that I could never have said before, women's wheelchair basketball, which is pretty cool.
Do you really want the Dutch team to get better? Do we really need that?
No, they're not allowed to come. No, I'm just kidding.
How is this going to work? Is there a draft? Please tell me there's a draft.
That would be cool. There isn't a draft as far as I'm aware. I don't know. I don't think that would work. I think initially, there are the players from GB and within the squad, so the selected 12, I guess, from Tokyo, and the reserves, the squad altogether. So only 4 are allowed to go to each of the unis. I don't think that's a secret, I'm pretty sure. It's not anymore. I've said it. So basically, a while ago, we put our interest in saying, "Oh, I'd like to go here. I'd like to go here. I'd like to go here." And then they come to you and they say, "Okay, hey, this is our university. This is what we're about. This is our culture. This is what we can offer you. Hopefully, you want to come play for us." So the deadline for that is the end of June. So we'll hear, I think, before then, hopefully, where everyone's going and what that'll look like. And then they've also asked for expressions of interest from the tier below that, so our academy athletes and also international athletes. I mean, I was on like what do you call it? Like an open day, like a virtual open day.
Okay.
I was on one, and kind of youth, like a junior player from the German team was there. There's a Mexican player there. There's a USA player was also another one. So, it's people are interested, and it will be growth. There will be growth periods within the first few years. So it's not going to be, like WBBL straight away, but it has to start somewhere, and I'm just glad that it's starting.
I mean, to be fair, it sounds like a pretty great foundation to build off of, with 4 great universities, fantastic sports institutions, plus some of the best players on the planet. That's just seems like a pretty strong start to me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I'm just excited that I don't mind that we're all split up. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But even then, like players, if they choose not to do it, I think that's okay as well. Yeah. But the point is, like I said before, people have the option. If girls want to go out and play in Europe, they can. Helen Freeman, for example, she's out playing with the Touring Bulls in Germany at the moment, who've just won the league, so that's pretty cool. We've got the option to go to America. Laurie, my partner, she's in GB as well. She went to Alabama University for 2 years, where you can train and play with women. That is the only other option for females to do that full time, is at an American university. So she's done that, and I imagine that girls coming through want to do that as well. But to me, isn't it exciting that we've got all these great options?
Is this going to be, by the way, if you're watching, firstly, thank you. Make sure, get comments in, okay? Robyn Love is here, so you might as well ask a GB legend some questions if you've got them. Pop them in the comments down below or however. Now, what was I saying then? Shop window. How much of an opportunity is this for players to showcase their talent so that a European team might be like, "Ooh, Robyn Love in Gran Canaria, right?" Or somewhere to that general effect. Like, how much of that is going to be a pull factor for athletes?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess the 2 leagues could work in synergy like that. But the way I see it is, women will want to maybe come and play with and against women instead of going to Europe. Of course, there'll be a bit more money out in Europe because it's been established for longer. That makes sense. But if you want to come and get an education at one of these great unis and play elite level basketball at the same time, to me, that's a great option where you don't have to travel to America. If you're a Spanish player wanting to do it, hey, 2-hour flight and you're in London, and you're in Loughborough, and you're in Worcester. All these universities are well connected with airports. I imagine it'll be quite appealing to people like that. Maybe not players that are more established within their countries or they have jobs that they're happy with, but like I said, it has to start somewhere. And to me, seeing a few junior players from around the world interested, they'll be choosing what uni they want to go to. Why not go somewhere where you can play basketball and get to play basketball, not just sit on the bench? You get to play and you get to learn playing with and against international players.
And how it's really cool. How important is it to you to have that visibility so that young girls now can grow up and think, I want to aspire to do that. I want to play in the Women's Premier League, when before that's not been something that's been out there?
Oh, I just think I wish I was 16 right now, looking at this league. I'm 30. So unfortunately that's not me, but to be honest, what I'm excited about is, in my mind, my career is just lengthened by at least a few years at that kind of high level, because whether or not I want to do GB, I can still play at a high level within the HPP setup. So to me, I'm a winner as well in this. But I do know, like speaking to some young girls, like this is exciting. They're going to get the opportunity to train with and play with GB players, maybe some Spanish, like I said, Spanish, French, German, Dutch. Like they're going to get that opportunity, and over the years as it builds, I hope it becomes more and more competitive. That our young players are just trying to get better and better and better to make it into these squads, so that when it comes to a GB selection, we're looking at a squad of 30 to pick from. That's what I want. I want to see that squad of 30. Making it difficult for our coaches to pick a team. That's what I want to see. And then below that, I want to see more women just realising that they can play wheelchair basketball. And for the recreational women's league, that will still be happening. I hope to see that just busier and more exciting than ever.
I just saw, like about an hour ago on BBC Sport, I just saw something, a short clip about the Inspire a Generation programme, putting 1.5 million into, I think was it wheelchair basketball, like as a social coaching, playing, trying to get people more involved. Will that link into this in a way?
I believe so. I think what British Wheelchair Basketball are trying to do is create a more diverse, robust and clear pathway for people to join in and play wheelchair basketball at any level. The Inspire a Generation programme, so you can become an activator. So you don't necessarily need your level 1 wheelchair basketball qualification, but you get your Inspire a Generation qualification, and you could be a teacher. So then you can, if a teacher goes and gets it, then they can then coach wheelchair basketball at primary school, at secondary school. They can do it within their community, maybe at a sports club. They can just have a bit of fun with it. And to me, that's just exactly what we need. We need more people being exposed to wheelchair basketball because, like I said in my interview last time, it's one of the most inclusive sports in that you can have a disability or you can't have a disability and you can play it. Like I said, in National League, we've got a lot of able-bodied players playing the game. They can't play for GB. Obviously, you need to have one of the 10 IPC impairments. But how great is it that, perhaps two brothers, for example, in Scotland, you've got the Beattie brothers who play, and one of the boys has got a disability and one of them doesn't, but they get to play sport together. And just, for me, the more people that know that and the more opportunities they have to play basketball, the better.
Definitely, that's amazing.
So, thinking now about the GB program and your role within that, how has training been over the past couple of months since we've last seen you?
Oh, great! Like I said, doing 5v5 for the first time, I think it was last month, our first camp at Loughborough, getting to do 5-on-5, just brilliant. It makes me realise how much my teammates have improved. It's just been myself and a few other girls in our group up until that point, and I know we were improving. But it's just great to see how we've elevated as a team. And like I said before, we train full time, pretty much Monday to Friday. And I think it kind of stymied stymied our games a wee bit. And I think having that time away to develop ourselves and our confidence and skills and, out with basketball, time away and being with family or, where you could be with family, that is. I really do think it's strengthened our individual games, and we have come together. Because that's what I was saying to you before. I hope that when we come together, this strength just blows up, and that's exactly what I think's happened. And it's really exciting to be part of it, really.
And you think that? Caz?
What to say? And you've been busy, Robyn, with skills yourself because you had a couple of video series out with your Love Handles series doing some.
Yes, I did. Yeah, thanks. We plug there. Yeah. So to be honest, Love Handles. My name's Robyn Love. Obviously, you can see that. So handles and like ball handling. So I thought, what's a funny name? Love Handles. I think I'm a funny guy. But really it came from I was doing kind of virtual sessions with our academy groups, boys and girls, or not even boys and girls, because in the women's side there's people who aren't girls, there's women. So in our kind of academy groups where we're doing psychology sessions, video sessions, and some of these people haven't been able to get on an indoor court for a year and a bit now. And I saw on YouTube, there's a lot of things for like running basketball that you can do at home, because you can stand up and you can do between the legs, like no dribbling, like all these things you can do. But for wheelchair basketball, obviously, doing a figure of 8 between your legs is less likely to happen. So, and for me, there wasn't many things on YouTube or online for like wheelchair basketball specific, like no dribbling or at home in your house. Because I live in Manchester, where it's quite rainy most of the time, so training outdoors isn't really an option, especially this time of year. So I thought, right, you've got to, if no one's going to do it, who's going to do it? You can do it, and that's what I like to say. If not who, then maybe it's you. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, right, funny name, love handles, and then just kind of some ball handling with no dribbles, and I've got a shooting one as well. And I'll probably add a few more, but also I've been a bit busy with training. But I just felt sorry for these people who couldn't do anything, and they're my people, and I wanted to help them out.
And I really enjoyed doing it. I live in a flat. My neighbours wouldn't be happy if I was bouncing the ball on the floor. So I was like on a circle like this.
Yeah, I live in a flat, and that's exactly what it is. The amount of times I like hit the ceiling though, like when I was doing like the shooting one, I'd like edit that out.
Someone banging on the door.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just hit them with I'm sorry, Paralympian, mate. Like,
I know. To be fair, they're quite cool. But I would feel bad. But to be fair, it's not like we have loads of parties of that. So I think like during the days I'm banging on the ceiling, they might just think I'm like a really keen cleaner or something like that. I don't know.
In terms of the GB setup and the lead into Tokyo, like, how's that going, and how do we feel about that as a thing that may or may not occur?
I know, right? I think it's one of those things people are still saying if, buts, and maybes. And I guess, like, for me as a person, my mum very much says the catchphrase, tomorrow is another day. I think that's when I was asking her to take me somewhere, or like do something, or buy me something. Oh, tomorrow's another day, Robyn. Don't talk to me about that now. So that's just, to be honest, that's been my mindset is, take every day as it comes. And I'm honestly just so grateful that we can train at the minute. And yes, right now we are mainly in groups of, 6, so we can only do 3-on-3, except when we're at camp in Loughborough, but it's better than nothing. And we know we do get COVID tested twice a week. We do have to clean down our chairs. We have to be safe. And Paralympics GB and the Olympics did release that, what they call it, I think it's a playbook. I think they call it their playbook, where they outline kind of what the games will look like, to keep everybody safe. So to me, they seem very prepared. And even like the Euros, like the football, like they are announcing all kind of stuff as well. So surely if they're talking about the Olympics and Paralympics not happening, then they should be talking about the Euros not happening. So
yeah.
For me, I haven't heard any whispers of that, so I can't imagine that the Olympics or Paralympics will be postponed or cancelled. What I don't want to happen is they have the Olympics, they do something happens, and then they're like, oh well, we'll just cancel the Paralympics then.
Yeah.
I really, really hope that doesn't happen, because I would not be impressed.
No, I don't think any of us would be impressed.
No.
But they've had the draw now as well, haven't they? So you guys have got Australia, Japan, Germany,
USA?
Netherlands,
Canada.
No. Canada. Yeah. I thought it was either USA or Canada. Yeah, Canada. Yeah, we've got a pretty tough group. But you have to be able to beat everyone. That's what we always say. Doesn't matter what your group is, you have to be able to beat everyone if you want to get a medal at the Paralympics, because everyone brings their A game really. So we can't be in the same group as the Dutch due to the kind of rankings I think they did it on. So it'll be nice, hopefully meet them at some point. I know which game I'd like to meet them in. But I guess we'll wait and find out. Yeah, the men's group is pretty tough as well. I think their group is tougher than ours. Of course, I'm a crap athlete and I can't tell you what their group is. I just know it's tough.
So the Dutch. Oh, I don't know. Final final against the Dutch again. How many times have you guys played them in finals? It feels like a lot.
Twice, because we've only ever been in 2 finals. Our first European final was 2019, and our first Worlds final was 2018. So both times we were lucky enough to play the team in orange. And I love playing the Dutch. I think they're absolute quality. I really enjoy it. So if we play them again, that'd be great. But trust me, it's not just about that orange team. Other teams are coming through. Canada look really strong as well. So to me, no one can kind of be discounted just because that orange team are kicking about.
Well, when you looked at the rankings, it told you so Canada were the 2019 Parapan America champions, Australia were the Asia Oceania runners-up, Japan are the hosts, obviously, and the US Germany won silver in 2016. It's tough, obviously. GB is second in second ranked, but it's just all the games are going to be tough, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And these athletes will have been working hard, just like we will have. The coaches will have been watching video, just like our coaches will have. And the fact that we don't have warm-up games, so no one can travel anywhere, can they? So we can't. Usually we play against each other, especially the European teams. We and Canada are really good actually. They usually come out to Europe quite a few times. But that won't be happening. So
the first games you'll play will be at the Olympics.
Yep.
Ooh.
I know, right?
That's
funsies. Yeah,
might throw yourself in at the defense.
Yeah, exactly. All we can do is try and prep the best that we can and trust that and work on our individual skills and make sure we put ourselves in these pressure situations where possible. I'm a firm believer that you cannot replicate any kind of major tournament at all. You can't replicate the fans, you can't replicate the feeling, you can't replicate the teams. You've just got to be able to thrive in that environment when you're put in it. And, the pandemic, for example, what do? Do you just melt, or do you say, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to thrive within this. So I think everyone's resilience is going to get tested on those first few games as we kind of ease into the tournament.
When was the last time you played a competitive game of basketball?
Well, we do it at camp, so we're quite fortunate. We bring in a few of our academy boys. Okay. I say boys, they're not boys. they're big and fast. So we've brought them in and we've played competitively against them. And we also play against each other, which again is high quality. So we have played games, but in terms of my last kind of game with GB against women would have been the Osaka Cup last year in February. For us, I think that's when it was.
And I'm guessing that's going to be the case for a lot of the national teams that will be playing in Tokyo.
Yeah, I imagine it's exactly the same. I've seen USA have also played their kind of academy teams. The Dutch are doing the same at Papendal. I'm pretty sure the Canadians are doing the same because they train in the same venue as their men's team at the minute, most of them anyway. So I think that all teams have got a kind of similar idea of use what we have, because a lot of countries have strong academy setups, so why not use it?
The question that I have, and this probably isn't a question for you, but it's just in my head, thinking about Michael Hansen-Morris, is the coaches must be going spare for scouting, because we know how coaches are. They love, or a lot of them love scouting. They love knowing everything about what they're going to be up against, and nobody's got any new tape for the past 2 years by the time it all tips off.
Yeah, no know what anyone's up to, but I think we didn't play China, for example, at the World. We hadn't played China since Rio. So there are some teams that you just don't play. And I think that the coaches just, at the end of the day, all you can do is control in general is your team and what you're building with your team and making sure your team's tactics are right, so that no matter who you play against, you're not changing your style. Your style should be strong and clear, which is something that we've worked on, our kind of determinants and principles We've been working on that all year, so that, you know, no matter what people throw at us, it's like, oh well, just remember these are our determinants and principles. This is who we are. We don't need to change for anybody. And I think that that's definitely the only way you can do it these days.
Do you refer to them as DAPs for short?
I feel like we should. We say D's and P's.
Okay, yeah.
But I feel DAPs would be cooler, so I'm going to start saying that.
Yes. I had another question. Back to the Premier League, and again, forgive my ignorance on this. When does it tip off?
I believe December.
Oh, okay.
But caveat, the Europeans got announced that they're going to be in December.
Oh,
I know, because we were meant to have a Europeans this year, and those Europeans are a qualifier for the next Worlds, so they have to happen. Our Europeans are always qualifiers for something, so they need to happen this year. So I think they're going to be in December, which means that maybe I'm not sure what they'll do, because I'm not privy to such things, not my department. Someone else is arranging that who's better at organisation than me. So I believe maybe it might be a bit later. So maybe December, maybe January.
I'm a very impatient person. I say bring it forward. Let's get this show on the road. I want to be covering it.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
See it. I want to cover it. I want a draft. Maybe not this year, down the road.
That'd be awesome.
Sorry, Caz, what was that?
Stat line of the week on Caz's stat line of the week.
Oh, yes, that's a whole new genre of stat line of the week. We must do stat line of the week with Robyn here. That is a non-negotiable.
That'd be awesome. Honestly, I bet BWB would be so keen to get you guys involved 100%.
Chester Donnelly. Oh, sorry. BWB would love to be involved. We're all about learning and growing ourselves as well as anything else.
I'm so excited to see it. I want to come and watch it.
Yeah.
I want to watch it on, if it's on YouTube or something. I want to
see it. I'm pretty sure there's broadcast rights somewhere. But again, I guess that's got to be announced. There are broadcast rights
on BBC or Channel 4. Channel 4 have been doing a wonderful job with Paralympic sport. So yeah, get it on proper, able to watch it, easy TV. Then this paywall rubbish. Right, Chester Donnelly has a question, and I assume it's aimed at yourself, Robyn. Does Scotland have a 3-on-3 team for the Commonwealth Games?
Yeah, so exciting. For the Commonwealth Games next year in Birmingham, wheelchair basketball 3v3 will be entering for the first ever time, which is super exciting. And yes, so Scotland will need to qualify, obviously, because England get a pass. They're in already, and it'll be men's and women's separate.
Yes.
So I'm on the board for Basketball Scotland. I'm lucky enough to be on that. So I do know that people have the opportunity to express their interest, and if they have a Scottish grandparent or they're from Scotland, Scottish parent, they can qualify for playing for Scotland, which is pretty cool. It's the same as the FIBA rules. So I guess we're just waiting on all the kind of expressions of interest to come in. I did get in trouble, I have to admit, because I submitted mine really late, because I just thought, well, obviously, what are you talking about? I have to fill out a form. So they've started to call me Billy big time because of that. But honestly, I think it's just stupidity over here. Thought that I didn't have to. It's like, well, obviously I am. I've got a Scottish accent. Like, I've been talking to you about it for ages. Of course I'm going to be doing it. Are you joking?
I'm on the board.
Yeah. I know, it's just silly me, didn't realise I had to fill out the form, so I got into trouble for that. But yeah, so I'm super excited. The qualifiers for that, I don't know 100% when they'll be, but I think there's some time this year. So I imagine that'll be Ireland, Northern Ireland, Wales and ourselves in that. So that'll be interesting. One team.
Wales. Let's go Wales.
Wales? No, absolutely not. Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely. As a proud Welsh individual, let's see that happen.
Oh, away with your dragon.
Yes. Have you? I mean, isn't yours a unicorn? Yeah.
Obviously,
naturally.
What are you talking
about? Dragon versus unicorn. I mean,
yeah.
So everyone wants the one.
What have you lot got? Is it a lion or something?
Oh, I should know, shouldn't I? Let's say it's
Yeah,
a lie.
we'll say it's a lie. Get out of here. Ours are superior, Robyn. Have you ever played against the Real Raptors?
Yeah, I think I have. When I first started, so when I played for Lothian Phoenix, we played against Real Raptors because they were a northern team. So obviously being in Scotland, there was only 2 wheelchair basketball teams, so we always had to play in England. So yeah, I played against Real Raptors. Yep.
From North Wales to Scotland is a trek.
Honestly, trust me, tell me about it.
Outrageous.
From Scotland to anywhere in England is a trek where I lived.
I'm not too sure where this "real is in England" chat is coming from. These are the words not of us. Okay, very much in Wales. We do claim it.
Yeah, I meant south of Scotland.
Thank you. Cazzy B. Anything from you?
Oh yeah. So so how are you preparing for Tokyo with obviously it's going to be a totally different experience to Rio, crowds and everything. Are you just focusing on we're going to get there, we're going to go, and not because you probably won't be able to like explore, or I don't know if you would have been able to do that last.
Well, also say in Rio you didn't see outside of the village.
Nope, didn't see. Just I saw outside my bus, like, oh, that's nice.
Got some sun though.
Yeah, well, in the village, yeah, we were allowed out in the sun, but not for too long. Not for too long.
Yeah.
So
you obviously have family and there.
Yeah. Well, mine wouldn't have been able to go anyway. You know, Tokyo is quite far away and quite expensive. You know, I've got 4 sisters, and you know, to be honest, you only get to see your families for like 5 minutes. And I would just feel terrible to, you know, not that I would have dragged them halfway around the world, but I would have felt, you know, bad that I couldn't see them for longer just because they'd made such an effort and cheered me on for the past, you know, hour and a half, so many games. Like, to have that not to think about is quite nice, for me anyway. And I've been lucky that for the Worlds that was in Hamburg, you know, my sisters came out for that, mom and dad came out for that. The Europeans, you know, they were in the Netherlands, so they could come out for that. My first ever games, Europeans was in Worcester, so they stayed in my flat. You know, I think there was about 7 of them staying in my flat. So you know, that was pretty awesome, and they have gotten to see me. But I'd much rather if they can, commandeer a pub or something like that, and watch it from home, like, because I want them to enjoy it, and also for me not to have to worry that they're okay and they're not, you know, lost somewhere in Tokyo.
When you look back on like the last 6-7 years, like all the things you've done, the start of the new Premier League, how do you kind of like put that together and feel about just the massive achievements that you've made and been part of?
Yeah, it's cool. You know, like I said, I'm a very firm believer taking every day as it comes, which means I'm terrible at reflection. It's probably something I do need to get better at, really. I'm always looking for kind of what's next, what's happening. But I think I need to do a better job of realising like how much I've improved, like what I've done. But yeah, I'm honestly, I'm so grateful for the opportunities that wheelchair basketball has given me. Never did I think that, you know, a wee lassie from here would been to Japan 6 times, to Canada. Before that, I think I'd only been to like France. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a thing, you know. So for me, I'm so grateful of the opportunities that I've had, but I'm also excited for what's to come. And the way the game has grown has just been brilliant, and I've really enjoyed learning about the game, because honestly, like, wheelchair basketball is a great sport. And I'm sad that I didn't know about it until I was, you know, didn't understand it until I was about 24. And I'm really gutted about that, but at the same time, I'm grateful for the experiences I had before that, because I think they set me up well to have this career that I've had.
We have another comment no, it is a comment this time from David Smith. David Smith, thank you so much for getting involved. My understanding is they will need to qualify, but will attempt to. Some very good new talent should help. I'm sure he's talking about the Welsh national team. Could be talking about the Scottish team. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he is. I hope so. I don't know. For the Scotland women's team, you know, we've got a few good players. Looks like on the roster. For the men's team, They've also got some young talent coming through. It'll be a bit more challenge on the men's side because, you know, the Welsh team, I have to admit, you know, they've got the captain of the GB team, Phil Pratt, on there if he chooses to play, which I imagine he will, as a very proud Welshman. So that'll be a pretty tough team to try and beat. But, you know, anything can happen on the day, and I'm really hopeful for both teams.
Now, for those who haven't seen 3-on-3 basketball or 3-on-3 wheelchair basketball, how does it differ from 5-on-5 wheelchair basketball?
So there's 3 people on the court from one team, so 3v3 instead of 5v5, obviously. It's the same as like running basketball, 3v3, so it's done in the half court, but the full half court, like the full width. And I believe, like, because I haven't actually played it either.
I was going to say, like, how much practice have you guys got or had?
None, like, in terms of, I don't think anyone was, well, not anyone, but I don't think they were expecting it to be in Birmingham before this, until it kind of got put through, because before this, like, 3v3 has not been a thing in wheelchair basketball, at least.
Was it the first time?
This is the first time at Birmingham, and as GB, as the home nations, it's not something that we've ever done. We've done 5v5. There was the Celtic Cup, which was like an under-25s tournament between the Celtic nations, so Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales. But we've never done like a 4 nations tournament or anything like that even. So even like playing against each other in that kind of setting, like we're just not used to that. Like, so me playing against like the English girls, and even then, like there's only 4 people in the squad. So, you know, like I said, there aren't many Scottish players in the GB team, so all those English players are going to have to compete for those 4 spots, so that kind of is different and unusual for us as well. So I'll be interested to see what team they go for as well within that. But as far as I'm aware, the rules are all the same as like the running basketball 3v3, like seconds in the key, and in general the setup, I imagine you need a shooting guard, a centre, but in wheelchair basketball, depending on the points, because it's 8.5 points and not 14, which it's usually 14 for 5-on-5. So if you don't know, each player is given points based on their functional ability, from 1 to 4.5. And for wheelchair basketball 3v3, the total you can have between those 3 players is 8.5. So for example, myself, I'm a 3.5, so we could go 3.5, 4, and a 1. So that 1 point player would probably be playmaking off the ball quite a lot, you know, picking, curling, us big slow players in, making it easier for us, as well, getting those little dinky shots. If the help comes to the 2 kind of bigger players, then that's their opportunity to just shine there. So it'll be interesting to see how teams do it, because you could, for example, Wales could go with a really big midpoint lineup because Phil Pratt's a 3-pointer. So with wheelchair basketball, like, you guys are probably like there's the whole other element of the points that just make it a much bigger challenge, but also much more exciting.
I find it interesting that they've gone 3. You say it's 14 points for 5.
Yeah.
And now it's 8 points for 3. I find that really interesting.
8.5.
Oh, 8.5, sorry.
Yeah, I know that half point, big difference.
Oh, well. I mean, you're a 3.5 pointer.
Yeah, so it helps me.
There you go. Have you been watching running 3-on-3 to sort of, I don't know, to teach you what this might be like for yourself?
Yeah, I have actually. I followed this Danish 3v3 player, this woman, she's also a doctor, which is pretty cool. I followed her on Instagram because I saw it randomly one day. It came up on my feed, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool." And running basketball, it just looks so intense. Like, obviously, it's shorter games. I think it's like 10 minutes or first to 21 points.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, it's obviously a really intense game, and what I like is, like, it's really, you have to problem solve quite a lot, and it's quite fast paced, which is something that I really enjoy in wheelchair basketball anyway. So having it 3v3 where there's more space and less players to have to think about, for me, I think it's going to be really fun, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a go and competing for Scotland if I'm selected, obviously.
Naturally, I mean, you are on the board.
If you get to say.
Sorry, my wee dog wants to say hi.
Hey, Whiskey! Hey! So cute.
I know.
I think since you were last on, I have also acquired a cockapoo, and it is the best thing in the world.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
It's the best.
Dogs are cute.
If you are looking for somebody with lived experience of the 3v3 life, friend of Focus Hoops and Manchester-based legend Hannah Shaw played under Matt Harbour at I think it was a World Championship for 3-on-3.
Yeah, I know Hannah. Yeah, I know Hannah Shaw. Plays for Mystics. GB legend.
GB legend. Just general class human being. Anyway, she say again.
She likes plants. Hannah Shaw.
She does like plants.
Good fact. I like plants. I'm getting to that age where it's like, should we get some more plants? Yeah, let's get some more plants. What are you doing at the weekend? Getting some more plants.
Getting some more plants. What's your plant of the year?
But I don't know. You see, I usually kill them all. It's Laurie's department really to be in charge of that. And we did that thing where you get like them delivered to your house. You don't know what you're getting.
Okay.
You know those ones. So it's like when you get a subscription. So we've got quite a few plants now. I like the ones that look a bit more exotic, like as if they're out of Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're the ones I kind of like, with the leaves that are like purple or really dark green. That's what I like.
Well, if you're ever having plant trouble, Caz, don't you live next to like a plant hotel or something?
I do, yes. Yeah. If you're going away and you need someone to look after your plants, pop to the plant hotel.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I did not know. Currently, they're in Laurie's mum's downstairs toilet. No joke. No joke. That's where because we left them at the last camp and just haven't picked them up.
Well, yeah, it's waiting for you.
That's so cool.
About.
I'm just eating a crumpet.
Do it.
And if you need to send them to the plant hospital, it does that as well. It's a plant hotel and hospital, and you can buy.
Oh my God.
And Hannah Shaw loves it.
Once again, Hannah Shaw, just all things to all people.
Hannah Shaw goes to the plant hospital.
How has Laurie found the training of late and the bubble camps?
Well, apart from having to be with me all the time, I'm sure. I think she's enjoying it. Yeah, we're quite lucky that we get to room together. We haven't always, but obviously because we're in the same household, it makes sense to room together. So for us, like, you know, when you're at camp and you're like, or I don't know if you guys do, but say you're like on holiday with your mates and it's like you're rooming together and you're like, oh, I need to make sure they're okay, or like you need to feel like you have to like talk to them all the time.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? So you can never like fully relax. Whereas fortunately for us, like, we can fully relax and we're not bothered like about talking to each other all the time. We can just sit in silence, you know, we're very comfortable. So for me, I think that's a real advantage for us, at least within the team, is that we can, you know, settle somewhere quite quickly because we've got someone familiar to us there. You know, some of the girls, you know, they've been in their own house for the past year and a bit, not having to room with anyone, whereas we usually have camps where we, every other kind of month on the run up to the games, we're away quite a lot. So that's something you have to get used to as well, is rooming with someone else. Worrying whether or not you can go for a pee in the middle of the night, not wanting to wake them up. I don't care. I'm like, Laurie, I'm going for a pee.
Forgive me if this is kind of a strange question, but you two have been like a known commodity for... Well, I don't know how else to say it, to be honest, but known to, you know, your coaches as, oh yeah, they are together, right?
Yeah.
But they've not always roomed you together.
No, I guess like when we first kind of got together, like I guess they didn't want to make it like a thing like in the team that we always had to be together, because we don't. And to be honest, like, see, on a tournament, you wouldn't even know we were together, because Laurie always hangs out with like Amy Conroy, busy mates. They're always doing like weird stuff together, like they're just dances or just being strange in a good way. I love them. But usually like we go our separate ways, and for example, I get obsessed. I watch footage, or I'm drinking coffee, or I'm chilling out with some of the other girls. So we don't feel like we need to be together all the time. And I guess it's just kind of evolved over the years now that, oh yeah, we can be together and it's not a big deal.
Nice.
Yeah.
So obviously the logical conclusion question to this is, are you going to be on different franchises should you both be in the league?
Oh, is it? I don't think so. I don't know how that would work. We'd have to get another car.
That's an important point.
Laurie would have to pack her own chair in the car. I don't think she would have to get that attached to like her contract that someone would have to put her chair in at the car for her. So I don't think that they'll do that. She'll kill me if she does that. No, I don't.
Get to work, clipping.
I'm hoping because we're not the same points.
Yeah.
We don't play the same role really. Well, we do a wee bit, but we offer different things. So I'm hopeful that we can get on the same franchise. And I guess for to me that would be a strength to know that you've got two people who are going to train hard and have a history of that together, as well as because we played with Angels of the North and the Owls. So we're very familiar with each other as well in our playing styles. So I'm hoping that we get to be together, but to be confirmed.
Well, it's lucky there's not a draft then. And also the fact that you've been training together and it's for a long time, it was just you two, and now you're in your bubble. It's Sheffield is still training in, right? In your like mini bubble.
Mini bubble of six or seven.
So again, is it reasonable to assume that a franchise might look at like, okay, who are you mini bubbling with? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I think it depends on where people want to go. Some of the girls are from down south, so it maybe makes sense for them to go back home. Wouldn't that be nice if people could do that? For me, like that's the benefit of it is people get to maybe relocate to where their family is.
If you were looking, say, in 10 years, where would you like to see the Premier League at in 10 years' time?
I guess like 8 teams.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. I don't think it would need to be any more than that, like max 8 teams, all spread out. So maybe obviously I want one in Manchester, that'd be great for the Northwest girls, women girls. Scotland, obviously, they've got a Caledonia Pride WBBL team, so it would make sense, obviously, maybe Edinburgh's quite hilly, not very accessible, so I'm unsure if Edinburgh would be the best destination for a wheelchair basketball team. Sorry, Edinburgh, I love you. I lived there for a long time, but anytime Laurie and I go on holiday there, the cobbles just an absolute nightmare. So I don't know in terms of wheelchair basketball team if it would go there, but that would be pretty cool. I'd like to see maybe 2 in Scotland. That would be brilliant. But yeah, definitely more spread out around the UK. Maybe see players getting paid because that isn't something that's happening at the minute. It is a professional setup. Of course, GB athletes will get their funding through UK Sport, depending on how successful we are in Tokyo. But players won't be getting paid money. So I'm hoping that accommodation and payment in the future and for all of them, I'd love to see that in 10 years' time. And just seeing women from Europe, from the Americas, from Australia, from Japan coming over to play in our league and just see that competition really grow. And then within that, just seeing the women's international game getting really strong. And then within that, seeing more female coaches coming through as well. That's something I'd really like to see happening as well.
I can tell you what I'd like to see, Caz.
Yeah,
a franchise in North Wales. That's what we want. That's what the people need. We want.
Well, there's one in Cardiff. You've got one. Come on.
Listen. We like Cardiff, but we like North Wales more.
Is this where Northern Welsh people don't like Southern Welsh people? Because I don't understand. Surely, you should love it. It's like Northern English people don't like Southern English people, and I'm what is happening?
We're a tiny country. But the problem is there's a massive mountain range in the middle. And so the easiest way from north to south is via England, which, we have to go the long way around. So, orcs. Also, fun fact, some of our language is slightly different. You have to, when you're learning Welsh, you have to learn, the Welsh of your region, if north or south.
Oh, that's cool.
Because some of the quite key words I think she is different in North and South Walian. I've completely got that wrong, I'm sure. It's been a while. But
you can say that to me and I believe you. So you don't worry about it.
No, perfect. No fact checkers, please. We don't need that negativity today. Caz, is there any more before we move to the big questions / Caz's corner?
Yeah, I just had sort of a bit more of a technical question, I suppose. I saw on, I think it was your Instagram or one that you were taking over, you were trying out a new chair. And I was just kind of interested on is there like a top spec chair that you can get for wheelchair basketball, like that's like the best of the best? And is there loads of different types you can get?
Yeah, it's just like, I guess, I don't know how you'd say it, like a skate, like boot, like football boots, or not even them because they're not custom made. I'm trying to think of something else to compare it to in body sport, but I guess there isn't much. Maybe like a Formula One car.
A racing, a seat in a racing car.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So they're all custom made, and there's different manufacturers. You've got like RGK, who are a British-based company, All Racing, who are connected with them as well. You've got American top end, an American company, MP, who are my chair, Japanese company. There's a lot more than even I've just said there. There's loads of companies around the world that provide chairs, and I'm sure all of them provide a really top chair. I love my chair personally with my MP. I got a new one. I haven't reviewed it yet. That was maybe going to be a YouTube video that I do to compare my old and my new. But I love it. What did I change? I got a fixed frame. So most manufacturers are fixed frame, but MP offer like a semi-adjustable chair, which I've been using since 2018. Which means that you can change like the center of gravity. So if you move the seat backwards, then you're further behind the wheel, so you're more spinny. So for me, as someone who got into the game a bit later, I didn't know what chair I'd want. So getting one chair that was completely fixed just didn't make sense to me. Sorry, that's my phone ringing. Someone will pick it up. So I'm really grateful now. I've tried it out for the past kind of 2 years, and I've tweaked it quite a lot. And I think I've found kind of like the perfect balance for me. So now I've got a fixed frame. But again, I'd be happy to stick with a semi-adjustable, which some of the girls have done, just because they like how it feels in their when they're playing. What I do like about MP is that, like, for me, like they shock absorb quite well. So obviously you hit each other like quite a lot, not like rugby style, but you do get a lot of contact. And in chairs that I've had previously, you really feel it in your body. Like afterwards, you just feel that vibration. So the next day, I'm 30 now, I'm getting old, so you feel it in your back and all that. So with my MP though, you don't feel the shock as much. So for me, that's a real positive I like about the chairs. But like I said, there's loads of great manufacturers, and it all depends on what you want. But the key is getting the measurements right and getting it right for you, because honestly, it's tough. It's really tough.
Have you yourself played many other para sports?
No, I've done like tennis in my basketball chair, which is really hard because you've got your front end, and you also sit a lot higher up in basketball, so you don't get as much of the wheel to kind of grab to push. But I really like tennis. I used to do it like standing up when I was younger. I like it, but basketball is the only kind of team sport that's for me. I think the only other team sport that I could play would maybe be sitting volleyball, because goal ball, obviously, I don't have visual impairment, so I couldn't do that. So actually, in terms of team sports that I could play, and I'm also, for rugby, you have to, I believe, don't quote me again, fact checkers, but it's called quad rugby, the old school ways, which means quadriplegic. So you have to have a hand impairment. Sorry, that's my phone. So you have to have a hand impairment as well, which I don't have. So again, I couldn't play that for like GB or anything like that. But there is like rugby league, which is, there's no classification for that. So technically I could play that for team. But for me, basketball is the best para sport. So that's why I've stuck with that. I did try racing actually, but my legs, you have to like sandwich your legs in the chair, and my legs, part of my disability is my legs don't bend very well.
Right. Okay.
So it's quite painful actually. That's why Laurie, her first sport was wheelchair racing, but she couldn't do it she preferred basketball because it didn't hurt her legs as much because they have to be squashed in the chairs. But I just can't do that. And then I wouldn't be very aerodynamic.
Well, the headband, mate, that would like.
I know, right? That would be the only thing that would be aerodynamic. Trust me, with the bun sticking up as well. Jeez. So yeah, for me, I think basketball is the best. Obviously, I do, and people will obviously defend their own sports as well. But for me, wheelchair basketball is the best parasport.
I was wondering, and I hope this isn't a rude question, but about your legs and like how they feel whilst in the chair, because I look at it and it's like, I know how I think it feels, and I don't know.
Yeah, I guess like, so when you're in your chair, like you can, if you have function in your legs, then you do use them. Like people push through their feet, not to like stand up, although some people probably do that. Oh. That's the thing. Not naming any names. But you know, people do push through their legs to get stability. For example, okay. if you're reaching out, this way. If you're reaching out for a pass, you can push through your legs to help strengthen up your core, and then you can get it a lot easier than someone who can't obviously use their legs, which is why you have the point system, and it's all on your functional ability. So if you can push your feet into your foot plate or whatever, then you obviously have an advantage, which is why you'll be more points. And then the strapping as well helps you in different ways depending on where you like it. So yeah, your legs afterwards, like you do have to like kick your legs out a bit to get them to feel normal again. But it's just like, I don't know. Imagine, like you said, at Formula One, I imagine they're squashed inside their cars. Yeah. Quite a lot. So it's just kind of like that, I guess.
So, okay, so it sounds like you've got a bit more, I mean, for yourself as, 3.5 pointer, you've got a lot more, I don't know, movement in your legs than I think I anticipated.
Yeah. If you watch, like, you'll see players, especially when they shoot, like, you'll see them kind of go like that. And usually that means they're just kind of push it, and their bums aren't coming off. Yeah. But you just kind of like jump through your bum, if that makes sense. You can push through your legs. Just to get that extra lift in your shot. So if you watch some basketball, you'll see the high pointers, obviously the low pointers can't do that. Yeah. But that's what they're doing, is they'll push through your legs, or you'll see their feet will be moving. That's kind of how it is. So although it's wheelchair basketball, you still do use your legs. Like my calves, like especially today, they're really sore.
Okay. Wow.
Like, because you do push through your feet if you can, quite a lot.
Yeah, cool. Wonderful. Right. We've been chatting for an hour and 7 minutes, and I love that. We go on about how great it is every time we have you with us, Robyn. If it's okay with you two, it's time for a quick word from our sponsors, Notch, and then a second plug. So also, listen, UEL, it's a wonderful name. I've got a better name, a much better idea for a name for your wheelchair basketball team. And do you know what? It's in this Notch commercial right now.
Word of our sponsors, Notch, the mark of achievement, and we are very glad to have them on board with FocusHoops this year. They make fantastic bracelets that look super stylish and really help you celebrate your sporting achievement. They've just launched a basketball collection, and we're really excited to be on board with them. Let's imagine that you're a player. Let's say that you're Courtney Vandersloot. You got 18 assists in a single ball game, and you want a notch and a bracelet to commemorate that fact. Well, you can do just that. Customize it to your team colors, put the year that you achieved it, and get it the exact size that you need. There are a number of the colors available. Or maybe you're a coach. Maybe you're the coach of a basketball team. Let's just say that you're the London Tyrannosaurus Rex. Your team wears red. You had the league's most valuable player, the MVP, and you want to celebrate that. You want to award them with a great looking notch bracelet. Well, you can do just that. And you can get it saying MVP on the notch itself. That's the charm. You can get the colour you want. Gold is one that I'd go for if we're commemorating the best player in the league. We could even get the team logo, if it's the Tyrannosaurus Rex, let's say, on there. And present it in a beautiful presentation case. Huge thanks for Notch for coming on board FocusHoops.
I'm telling you, the London Tyrannosaurus Rex, yeah?
That's awesome. I love those. That's really cool. I actually have like an ankle bracelet that I got on holiday after Mexico, still on from 2016. So
Oh, wow,
an ankle,
that's so cool.
and because obviously we can wear it when we play because I don't think there's any rules, so you can wear it under your socks even. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I like that idea.
There you go, geese. So UEL, wonderful name, wonderful colour scheme. Love you. Seafoam. Are we calling that seafoam, Caz?
Yeah, let's call it. Yeah, it's
We'll call it seafoam, but change colour scheme. London Tyrannosaurus Rex for the Women's Elite Premier League. Awesome. All right, second quick plug. The Cambridge Endurance Sports Podcast. Ben hosts it. It's awesome if you're into endurance sport. And recently he had the legendary figure, Louis Rolfe, Cambridge born and bred, super nice human being, on there to talk about his career in cycling. And it's worth your time. Seek it out. Cambridge Endurance Sports Podcast. Anytime Louis is talking, you want to listen to him because he is a very good human being who is very, very good at what he does. Check it out, Cambridge Endurance Sports Podcast. And tell them Focus Hoops sent you. Also, go get yourself a notch. All right, there we go. Plugs out the way. A part of the Paralympic setup is a long shot. Do you know Louis?
I don't actually know. Sorry.
All right. Just a really, really fast Paralympic cyclist.
Oh, nice.
Is
he Scottish? I feel like a lot of the cyclists are Scottish.
He's Cambridge born and bred.
Oh, wow.
He's Cambridge born and bred. He was a swimmer. Sorry, Ben, stealing a bit of your content here probably, but he was a swimmer until 16. And then within a couple of months of him starting to cycle seriously, he was part of the GB development squad and went to Rio. He went to Rio.
Awesome.
I feel like he's got a world record in him, but I could be wrong about that one. But yeah, all round good egg. Righto. Caz, is there any more specific Robyn chat, or is it time for Caz's Corner?
Shall we go to Caz's Corner?
Shall we go to Caz's Corner? Let's.
That line of the week. Although this week it's very. It's too one-sided. So every week, Robyn, I travel all around the world and find the best lines in women's basketball on Eurobasket.com. But recently they've been very there's been one that just stands out far too much, so it's not very competitive.
All right. Shall we see the stat line of the week for this week? Welcome to Caz's Corner. Caz, why am I introducing people to your corner? I'm doing it again.
It's fine. It's my corner. Welcome to my corner, my European wrap-up.
Okay. Let us.
So this was. So one of them stands out a little bit more than the others there.
Wow.
But in Australia, in NBL Division 1, which is the league that Sam Roscoe, that's played for the Mystics, and Georgia Smith, that's also played for the Mystics and Eagles in the WBBL, they're out in Australia at the moment. And so Keely Froling, who played for Canberra Capitals in the WNBL in Australia this year with our good friend Britt Smart. She plays for the Launceston Tornadoes, and they were playing the Diamond Valley Eagles. Launceston won 103-74, and Keely Froling just thought, I'll go out and score 52 points, pull down 26 rebounds, have 5 assists, 4 steals, set the record for the most points scored in a NBL D1 match. She's 25 years old. She's part of the Australian 3-on-3. She's phenomenal. She was amazing for Canberra this season, but that is ridiculous. So after I found that, I was like, well, who else is going to have a 50-point game to try and keep up? But we have Maria Payne, who plays also plays on her team in Launceston. She had 26 points in the same game, 5 rebounds, 12 assists. Probably most of those assists went to Keely. 1 steal. And then Annalie Maley, who plays for Eltham Wildcats. They had a win over the Sandringham Sabres, 83-80. 24 rebounds, 4 of them were offensive, 17 points, 3 assists, and she's only 22 years old. So that is my stat line of the week, and I feel like there's no competition.
Robyn Love, who are you going for on your in the stat line of the week here today?
God, that's tough. I feel like that team that Keely's was playing couldn't play defense on her. What is she, like Liz Cambridge? She beat Liz Cambridge out for height or something. She's like 7'2" or something. Geez. I don't know. I'm a big rebound fan, and she does win on rebounds. You have to go with Keely Froling, surely. That is just nuts.
Get this, she only made 2 threes. So that's 6 points of that was threes
Oh.
from the line or inside.
Well, I'd like to see her like free throw stats, if they RAM ones or whatever. That'd be amazing.
16 of 16 from the line.
What?
Oh
my days. Winner. She's the winner. Give her.
She's the winner. How many offensive rebounds? How many offensive rebounds?
9.
Oh, it's so good.
She is goals, man. She is goal. I tell you, were that other team like 5'2" or something? She was just like massive.
I think they were just like, we don't know what to do.
That's amazing.
That's the stat line of the year.
I think it might be.
We need to go through all of the stat line of the weeks. Hopefully you've got them recorded somewhere and work out, because that's outrageous.
Yeah, that's nuts. Is it not? Liz Cambridge was the first ever to score like 50 odd points in the WNBA or something.
Yeah.
She's got 53.
Yeah.
Because
just
these Australians, tell you what.
Yeah. I tell you what, get her in. Is it Bosnia? No.
Oh, Kosovo.
Get her in Kosovo.
Why
do damage?
What was it? I think we had a 26 rebound or a 30 rebound game.
Wow.
Something like that.
I'll find it.
Just preposterous. Yeah, Kosovan stats. Outrageous.
38 points, 36 rebounds. That was Sarah Mubeki playing in Kosovo.
That's amazing. Did the other team score?
A couple. Yeah.
No, wait. Did Mubeki's team even win that game?
Do you know what? It doesn't say so on my very thorough notes that clearly I think they are. But her teammate had 45 points in that game as well, and she had 38. They're going to have won that.
We hope so. They didn't win the league, though. I do remember that.
They didn't win the league. No, she had an index of 90.
Do you see preposterous stat lines in wheelchair basketball?
Yeah, sometimes you do. I mean, 50 points is quite a lot. You don't really see that as much. Terry Bywater from the men's team in Europe, he plays for a Spanish team called Ilunion. I'm pretty sure he can put out like 50 points easy, or he has in previous seasons anyway. A lot of them are threes though.
Yeah.
A lot of them are threes. But no, you tend in wheelchair basketball, there's usually like two, 3 players that will score the most. Because then, compared to running basketball, like I said, you've got the guards who their job is to get the big players in, especially in teams like the German team. They've got really good guards who we just say like they play make off the ball. And unfortunately, we've got the same stats as running basketball, so you can't stat it the same. Some people want curls to be called like assists, for example. Because without that player kind of sealing them in, then they couldn't have got that close to the basket. You can effort stat it like that. I guess a lot of teams will probably do that. We've done that in the past, so that's where it's just a bit different compared to running basketball.
So what you saying, from what I'm hearing, is that we need to change the stats for wheelchair basketball to include a couple different things.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see it one day.
No, I think it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Where do you start? Are you familiar with the hockey assist? So it's
is that the pass before the pass?
It's the pass before the pass. So in ice hockey, that's an assist. In basketball and wheelchair basketball, or running basketball and wheelchair basketball, rather, what do you think? Bring it in?
I mean, I'm happy with just the pass. I don't like that when you dribble, it then gets taken away. I think that's daft. I think they should still get the assist. Or at least in wheelchair basketball, that's the case. If you dribble, then it takes the assist away.
I think it's in running basketball. I've had it explained to me several times, several different ways. But I think it's path to the basket. if you can dribble it, so long as you had a clear path to the basket and the assist still counts to the
Oh,
assist.
really? Oh, gosh, I honestly don't know that.
I only found that recently when Russell Westbrook got his triple-double last week to break a record. They showed you the pass that he made, and I was like, why is that an assist? Because someone's just like dribbling all the way down the court.
Yeah. Pass. I don't know. That's a good point. But yeah, I would, if you know what a curl is in wheelchair basketball, it's pretty obvious. You'll see it if you watch a game, especially like the German women's team. They do it a lot because they play with two guards who are really good at doing that. You'll see basically the smaller player will be going in the key, and then the big one will be behind them, and that's a curl. So they kind of like seal off the defender, and the big player goes in the key. And it's a big strategy within wheelchair basketball because you can physically stop someone, whereas in running basketball, obviously you can't like grab someone and stop them. But you can still curl people in, I think, if you like run past them a bit, but it's not the same thing.
I mean, obviously, this like sealing off the defender is really important in both forms of basketball. But yeah, I'll be honest with you, as soon as this is done, I'll be looking up some footage of this so that I can.
Yeah, do it. It's cool.
Caz, we remain in Caz's corner with Robyn Love, our special Caz's corner guest.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, that's all I had for Europe and the wider world, apart from WNBA.
There's not heaps going on.
That's why everything was in Australia. There was not a lot of games played.
Question for you, Robyn, then. Have you been watching any WNBA or following it at all? Or
usually I follow the Mystics, usually their team. We haven't bought our pass yet. Dale Dawn obviously just had her back surgery. I am watching her YouTube series.
It's great, that series.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. The sound, they're obviously recording it on a GoPro. They need to get like a proper camera because the sound is poor. But apart from that, yeah, it's good. So gutted, obviously, she's not playing, and Emma Messman isn't playing because obviously they're prepping for the Olympics, which obviously makes sense. So we haven't watched masses of it because our two favourite players aren't in it. But it is. We're gonna get the pass and start watching it. There's a lot of hype around, obviously, Sedona. From Liberty, I think it is. Not Sedona. That's the bird from Ducks. What's her name? Sabrina
Ionescu.
I know who I'm talking about. Jeez, it's late. Yeah, so I definitely want to catch some of those games. I do know that Laurie wants one of the Rise tops, but they're like 100. Yeah, exactly that one on the left. That's exactly what she wants. And I want one as well, but they're like $120 plus like $30 shipping to Britain. So I'm like, don't love you that much, babes. But I'm hoping...
I've got a Black Aces jersey. Just saying.
Oh, cool! Is that the one from the Nike website?
Yes.
Because there's the Sabrina, like the Ionescu ones are on the Nike website from Liberty as well. So I'm hoping that they get the Mystics one on there. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, surely. Right, important question. What do we make of this thing in the middle?
I don't know what that is. It looks like. Do you not think it looks like that TV show, Stranger Things?
That's what it is.
It's the same font, right?
Yeah.
By design.
Like, why?
I don't know. Is that where it is? Is it based in Indiana?
Yeah.
They're obviously trying to jump on the back of that bandwagon and get folk who like Stranger Things to be interested, which, fair enough.
Yeah,
if I see people...
It's impractical if you're bleeding somewhere. How do you know? Like,
oh, yeah, that's true.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Do they actually play in it?
They will be, yeah.
They haven't yet, but they will.
That's weird.
I accost people in the street because I'm a widow who are wearing Stranger Things merch. And I'm like, hey, just a quick one. Sorry, mate. I do apologize. We are in Pets at Home right now. Where is this TV show set? And they're like, I got this in Primark. I'm like, I know. Where's the show set? And he goes, America? It's like, all right, thank you very much. You've told me all I need to know about this jersey.
Yeah. Maybe people in America know that it's Indiana.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the only thing they have going for them right now, like, and they're just like, we just need to hold on to this.
It should, like, if you're going to do that, like, just a big picture of, like, Larry Bird. I don't know. I suppose that doesn't really mesh with women's hoops, but
Neither does Stranger Things, but hey ho.
Yeah.
hey, there you go.
Is there only one female in the cast, or two?
Yeah, there's not many.
Yeah. Looks more like a Dexter jersey as well to me.
That's Miami Vice jersey for next year. Ooh, that could be. It's not going to happen, but it'll be fun. Just one last one whilst we're on terrible WNBA jerseys.
These are amazing. I don't know what's wrong with you. These are amazing jerseys.
Is that like a dandelion? Well, that is.
It's a spark or a palm tree.
It looks like a dandelion. Or like a sparkler.
Yes.
But it does look like a sparkler.
Yeah. I don't know. I personally don't like things that are too, like, obviously, like, feminine. Like, going out of their way to be like,
yeah,
this is what we think femininity is. Or, like, being in a women's team is. So,
Yeah.
I guess, for me, I don't really like that. Like, I like aces are quite strong and, like, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Same with mystics. You know, I like things that are a bit cool, like, not necessarily obviously, like, feminine, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or what people assume feminine is.
The black one.
Yeah, the black one's cool. It looks like what do you call it? Star Wars Trek.
Oh, they were both ruining these for me. I can't unsee this now.
Yeah, actually, no. I see that.
The colours are cool though. That's why you like it, because it's black and yellow like a Manchester bee. That's exactly why you like it.
There you go.
That's what there needs to be, a team called the Manchester like Bees or something like that.
Well, Manchester Basketball Club are the Swarm. That is what they go by.
There's a wheelchair basketball team that's going to start up in Manchester. Manchester Bees.
There you go. The London Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Manchester Bees.
Loving it.
Yes.
We'll name them. We'll throw out the names.
Yeah. BWB. Like, we know marketing, kind of.
I know. Tell you what, we'll produce better shirts than some of those bad boys.
Yes. Oh, could you imagine? I would love it. Just whilst we've got you here, that was our rankings.
Okay.
We did. Yeah.
That was boring. So your top ones are the Phoenix. Is that Phoenix at the top?
That is Phoenix, and the Aces white jersey.
Oh yeah.
We thought was particularly clean and just beautiful.
Well, I was sort of outvoted on that one.
You were very much outvoted.
I'm surprised you've not put there it is, the equality one. I really like that colour. It's a beautiful colour, that.
Thank you.
Why did you higher?
I love all of those, like, throwback. I don't know what they're calling them.
Are they the Rebel Edition jerseys?
Yeah, I'll just love all of them. I think they're amazing.
I mean, all but one are amazing.
Which one don't you like?
Well, the Dallas one that's been redacted. So technically we shouldn't be showing it here, but
why has it been redacted?
Because was it the Wasps? Is that what they called it?
Yeah.
Didn't allow black women to fly planes in World War II. And yeah, that seems like a pretty big oversight to not. Yeah. Oops, indeed. Yes. So bad times. But there you go. That is the definitive rankings. Big shout out to our friend, the Sky Show Chai over in Chicago.
That's awesome.
So yeah. So you root for the Mystics. You're rooting for the Mystics. Obviously, Caz roots for every team. And very quickly, just whilst you're here, I just want to show something I'm very, very happy about. Look at this. The Western standings. And who's that at the top? It's the Dallas Wings. Woo! Yeah.
This is impartial journalist
speaking. Wings number one. Impartial journalist over here.
That's awesome.
But they've played one game.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Top of the league, yeah.
What's
That's
that?
like that's like the Premier League when it's like, oh yeah, we're top of the league. It's game one.
Listen.
Okay.
I'm officially embracing the fact that for some reason I really like the Dallas Wings. Even though I own an Aces jersey and also I just like all the teams. You know,
Just open.
I like the league, you know. I don't know what's going on behind Caz's head.
So I'm a Sparks fan, you see, but Candace Parker left me, so I had to follow her to the sky, and they're winning. They're 1-0, 2-0, so that seems to have worked.
That's awesome.
The East is better than the West, isn't it?
That's awesome.
I don't know about that, Caz, because may I remind you? Yeah. All right, that's enough of that foolishness. Right, Robyn, we're not going to take up much more of your time, though. The big question that we've all been waiting for, Robyn Love, what is your fruit of the year?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me condiment again.
Ah.
I'm gonna say it anyway because I'm excited about it. Marmite.
Yes. Have you had the Marmite peanut butter?
Of course, I've had the Marmite peanut butter. Are you joking?
I've just got the biggest jar in my cupboard.
It's unreal. It went all the way with me to Texas in last November. The Franks, yes, can't beat it. But Marmite comes with me every single tournament I go to. But at the Elite Athlete Hotel, they have it there all ready for me, so I don't need to bring it. But it comes with me in my shoe. It comes in my shoe, in my suitcase. It's been to Japan, Texas, Canada, so Marmite is with me all the time. But yes, my fruit of the year. Oh, it's fun. I have them almost every day. I have to choose it. Banana.
It's solid choice.
Yeah,
solid choice.
Let me tell you why. Banana, so I just eat them normal. After training, that's my carb. After training, banana. I have it on the weekends, treat myself. I have it on top of my porridge with some peanut butter. Winner. I also smoosh it up. Oats, cinnamon, vanilla, egg. And then you've got yourself some tasty pancakes.
Oh.
So for me, the banana is just super versatile, and I really like it.
Here's the big question, though. Does whiskey like banana?
She used to. When she was a puppy, yes, we used to use it for training.
Nice.
But now, no, she doesn't. Because usually, like, she's a cheeky wee so-and-so. You'll put, not me, because I'm not the boss, but she doesn't do. If Laurie like goes to eat something, she's there like, like right up her face. But no, she doesn't do it with a banana. She's not bothered. No, she doesn't get her 5 a day.
And on your for whatever franchise is lucky enough to have Robyn Love playing for them, as part of your contract rider, that you're demanding one of these bad boys, because
is this like a gallon of hot sauce?
No,
I think that's a
hot wings. Hot wings after every game. That should be a thing, right?
I think that should be a thing.
That should be a thing.
Marmite
for breakfast, Frank's for post game. I'm there. Tell you what, if I get paid in food, I'm easy.
Leah Parcells says, let's go. Oh, sorry. Parcell says, let's go Libs. I assume that's talking about the
Liberty.
New York Liberty. We'll get to that, Leah. We'll get to that. But appreciate it. Thank you. As always. All right. I think, Robyn, and you're always welcome to stay. You're always welcome to visit anytime. You're like, I got something to say, and I'm going to use the Caz and Daz show to say it. You're more than welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. Would you like to get in any plugs you've got?
Plugs. Oh, well, I guess like my YouTube. If you want to work out at home without dribbling the ball, I think it's just Robyn Love on YouTube. Or you could just type in Love Handles Wheelchair Basketball and I think it'll come up. Instagram, Robyn_Love13. That's where I put most of my stuff in terms of our journey to Tokyo. Put up fun videos and pictures on my story from camps and stuff like that. So all the team do actually. We're really good at posting our journey on there. And yeah, just watch us on Channel 4. Hopefully the Paralympics goes ahead and everything like that. Fingers crossed, touch wood. And yeah, just support us from back home. But as always, like, I love being on this podcast because I love talking basketball. And it's just, I love talking about wheelchair basketball because it's amazing. And if you want to have a go when everything's kind of back up and running, try and contact your local team. Just head to the British Wheelchair Basketball website and they'll guide you to the right place.
There you go. Thank you so much for joining us, Robyn Love, important question. Does Whiskey have their own Wikipedia Instagram page?
Yeah.
There you
She
go.
actually, fun fact, she went viral on TikTok and one of her videos has had over 1.5 million views.
That is outrageous.
Yeah, I think it's Whiskey the Dude, like as in doodle. And then it's on Instagram, yeah, she's got Whiskey the Labradoodle, I think it is. Whiskey the Doodle. But on TikTok, yeah, Whiskey the Dude. She went viral. We're very proud parents. Yeah, that was again at camp. We were very bored. Just thought, hey, let's just fill the time with TikTok.
That is amazing. That's awesome. TikTok is taking over British basketball, it seems like. So, Whiskey leading the way. I wonder, Tom, if you watching this, how many views have you got compared to Whiskey the Dude? That is my question. All right, Robyn, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you've enjoyed it. And everybody at home, I hope you've enjoyed it as well. Don't forget, follow Robyn Love on Twitter and all the social medias, Robyn_Love, the teen. And I can't wait to be rooting for you, hopefully playing for Cardiff. Impartial media person.
And we'll be able to follow you at the Olympics because we'll be able to report on your games, tell people what's going on as well after they watch. So we'll make sure.
Love it. Yeah. Let's connect on that and see what we can do. Love it. Exciting. Right. Thank you so much, guys. Honestly, I really appreciate it. I'll let you go. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea and eat some food.
Hey, enjoy it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
How great is Robyn Love? She's super
I know. We say it every time, but Robyn Love, legend. Love Robyn Love coming on the podcast. Let's talk about the most important news of the week. No, not you, not that. May Madness is over.
There was madness in May. It happened.
There was a lot of madness in May. You probably know already. But the London Lions, champions of the WBBL playoffs. Credit this picture to the WBBL official and Mansour Ahmed. Awesome final. Lions overcoming the Nottingham Wildcats. And I thought that was did I say something wrong? What did I say?
Eagles, not the Nottingham Wildcats.
Oh, God. Sorry. I'm living completely in the past. The Newcastle Eagles. That's right. In what I thought was a really entertaining game of basketball, it was tied with 14 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, about midway through the third, 51 apiece.
51. And then the Lions, they were able to do what not a lot of teams have been able to do, and that's finish out against a very, very tough Newcastle team. So, Caz, have you got a breakdown for us?
Bit of a breakdown, yeah. As you said, tied in the third, and then London just managed to pull away. Newcastle playing with a short roster again, as they have all season, but they were just, after midway through the third, they just kind of looked like they were getting a bit tired, and London were just taking advantage of that. Shots weren't dropping for Newcastle. Amazing performances, though, from the team. So Alison Garrell, 30 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Maddie McVicker, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Ori Chiguitu got on court, and she'd not played in the earlier playoff games. She'd not played for a while. She's been out. So it was good to see her back. But yeah, ultimately, like, Newcastle had an amazing run, knocking off the first and the second seed, only 7th seed, making history. And it just, they just came up short against London, but they've had an amazing season. And some of the clips from the team on the bus, the team got GOAT t-shirts made up for Alison Garrell, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And I mean, so Shanice Beckford-Norton for London finished the game with 30 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. She was the MVP. And her
index of 34.
And her and Alison Garrell had the first 30-point games since Helen Naylor did it in the playoffs. Kennedy Leonard, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, a triple-double. And that rebound that she got to take her to the 10 rebounds. It was the last play of the game, 7 seconds to go, just grabs the defensive rebound and gets it. First triple-double in history. And just what an amazing player and what an amazing advert for the game that this London team has been. So trophy final winners, playoff final winners, 0-16 last year, 16-4 this year.
16-4. 16-4. The 20 games? Did they play 20 games?
Yes, 20 games. I couldn't remember.
16-4. 16-4.
16-4. Well, what a turnaround! What an amazing achievement for the club. And Mark Clark was saying this was one of the best seasons he's coached, and it's just so enjoyable to be around.
I bet.
Yeah. And Kennedy Leonard's locked in for 2 more seasons.
Oh, that is good news.
And she's averaged, so her average assists for this season, I believe it was, I want to say 10.8.
I feel like it
was over 10. So
I thought it was even higher than that, but yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, absolutely incredible. Now, there was a lot of discussions like, well, she's got a triple dub, surely that's MVP. And I think in most games it would be, but Shanice Beckford-Norton was so good as well. Obviously, taking literally nothing away from Kennedy Leonard. The numbers speak for themselves. It was an incredible performance. But I thought Beckford-Norton, just on the eye test, because we were chatting through the game and watching the game, obviously socially distanced, by how many 100 miles? But especially early, Shanice Beckford-Norton was just everything for London Lions at times, and her shots, and she had a really nice just mid-range jumper on for a lot of the game, but especially that early in the game, just some really beautiful shots, really big highlights. And I'm not doing a very good job of explaining just how important I think she was. And I've just seen her free throw numbers that I hadn't seen until just now. 12 of 14. She got fouled 8 times in the game. Those are 2 stats that I look at first. I see, right, what's your rebounds? What's your foul? She got fouled 8 times. That tells me maybe I'm an idiot. Don't snap that. Don't snap that. Maybe I'm a fool, but I think that says a lot about you as a player and how you've played and impacted the game. But again, I'm willing to be wrong. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Leonard's debut season in WBBL, 28 games, 446 points, 163 rebounds, 306 assists, 104 steals. Her average is 16, 6, 11, and 4. Not a bad debut season, says David Smith. That is
it?
Incredible. She has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
This year. Just awesome. And she wasn't even league MVP.
No.
And again, I think Kat Carl is rightly the league MVP. I know I voted for her in the votes that I had privileges to vote in. But my God, what a performance, what a player. And 2 more years the London Lions have got her for.
Think about what this team have done now with a disrupted season. What are they going to be like with a bit more consistency, getting to know each other for, a couple of years and things? That's a scary prospect for the league.
London Lions, please get them in the copper box.
Ooh, yeah.
Let me loose on a microphone. Let's have some double headers. Let's do this, because it is going to be. I'm excited, and everybody should be excited about this team and about the way they've gone about their business. So Shanice Beckford-Norton, MVP for the finals. I don't see any significant arguments against that. She was awesome, and Kennedy Leonard just making history, setting records, and being an absolute superstar. And there we go. And that's the WBBL season done and dusted. We'll see you again in September. Do you know what league on this rock has not finished, though? Oh! It's the WNBL. Got a graphic. Well, I've got a graphic for Harriet Wellham being the efficiency master this weekend. 35 points, 4 rebounds, 71% from 3. Harriet Wellham, unreal. Just unreal numbers in the victory over Thames Valley Cavaliers in the first round of the playoffs. Just awesome. She went also 10 of 12 from the line as well. So just beautiful numbers. Just beautiful numbers. Also in the team of the week this week, we had Shakina Bimper, who continues to be a wonderful signing addition to Nottingham Trent. 20, 10, 2 assists, 2 steals, 24 efficiency, shot well from the floor. Katie Janaszewska, 19, 13, and 4. Fantastic, efficient. Fantastic game from her. Her shooting wasn't the most efficient, but she was awesome, filling in for not her greatest shooting performance and still finishing with 19 points. McConnor Stone, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist. Again, fabulous. And Evie Decker making team of the week. 70 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals for Nottingham Trent University. Now, what were they playing? Well, they were playing in the playoffs. Oh, let me just. That's better. So, the bracket, and it is a proper bracket, thank goodness. Looks like this. We've got the semi-finals this weekend. So, what have we just seen? We saw Ipswich comfortably beat Thames Valley Cavaliers 88-54 off that huge performance from Welham. Esther Litter also contributed really, really nicely this weekend. So they very comfortably through their first round matchup. They are going to go up against Nottingham Trent University. They beat Kestrels. It was a 5-4 matchup. Doesn't feel like an upset to me. Either result you could have seen. I don't know what you think, Caz, but I don't know if I'd go so far as to say as I expected this outcome, because it's still 5 versus 4. You've got home court advantage. These two teams, it's depended a lot who's turned up on the day at times. And Nottingham Trent, they turned up and they were very, very good. Finished 74-68 winners over the Kestrels. On the other side of the bracket, the Cola Southwark Pride, they handled the Barking Abbey London Lions. They won 68-45. And in the other game, the 3rd seed Leicester Riders beat the Reading Rockets 62-53. This was a game with maybe a little bit of jeopardy over it. This was if we were going to see an upset this weekend, and I mean no disrespect, don't take me wrong, but this was the game that I could see it happening purely because Rockets beat Loughborough 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And quite heavily, if I remember correctly. So that was the only one, but Loughborough did a really professional job, handled their business by 9 points, did a terrific job. So semi-finals, they are set. Ipswich host Nottingham Trent University and Colex Southwark Pride host Loughborough Riders. So really exciting. It's coming down to it. We've got 2 more weekends of women's hoops left in the UK. And there we go. That's my roundup.
Do you want to predict a final? Can I get you to commit on that?
I think Ipswich will make the final, even though Nottingham have beaten them at home in Ipswich. I don't think that will happen again, but I can see that being a very close competitive game. It's going to be really interesting to see who Nottingham take. Does Bimper play? Does Maddie Burdett play? Which of the Americans do they select?
Yeah.
I would lean Bimper. Burdett's been fantastic this year, and she can shoot the lights out. But Bimper gave Ipswich buckets last time they faced, so I'd be very interested to see if Nottingham go the way of Bimper. Now this other game, bro, I don't know. I do not know. It's tough. I think I'm leaning towards Cola, Southwark Pride. They are at home. They manage their minutes remarkably. Nobody really plays significant minutes. They've got a lot of really talented players, but so do Loughborough. And then Loughborough, they've got a lot to prove. I think. I think, you know, Janaszewska and Robyn Ainge, despite how young Janaszewska is, she's been playing all season on the WBBL roster. Their season ended very abruptly, let's say. So I think that there might be that spark, that fire burning with them. McCarna Stone, is this their last ever game of basketball that she's going to play at this level? I hope not. I hope she's able to continue playing and maybe fall Loughborough again next year. Who knows? I don't know her university situation.
McCarna Stone should not be not playing basketball.
But that's just it. Like, we see this with Americans playing in the WNBL. Like Mads Hommerly, she played last year. She was awesome. She could play WBBL. She could have a career in Europe. But, you know, wasn't really an option. And now she's back in the States doing something she loves. But we've seen it with, you know, Americans come to the WNBL. They play a season. They finish their career as they see it. And then away they go. I think it's very unfortunate, to be honest.
Yeah,
and I think McCarna Stone should be playing in WBBL. But our rules don't allow that because of the college choices she made. Anyway, flip a coin. I'm going to go Pride, though I don't feel good about either prediction, to be honest. Then Ipswich versus Pride in a one-off final, and who knows what will happen. All right, we've already... no, we have not, because we moved to France, from Caz's Corner to France, and it is not the outcome that we were expecting. So you can see there, Bourges, they beat Tarbes. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Swept them 2-0. BLMA swept Villeneuve 2-0. And then Bourges lost to BLMA. So the 1 seed lost to the 4 seed in the semi-finals of the Final Four. Lyon were the 2 seed. Landes were the 3rd seed. Landes upset again by a point. Lyon. And then Landes battered BLMA in the final 64-72 to take the French championship from the 3 seed. So, yeah, just a bit.
Just a bit more May Madness, isn't it?
Just a bit more May Madness indeed. So France finally finished, and it finished with a bang. And the last one for right now, as we know, the WNBA has started. Huzzah! It has tipped off. It has been great. And then something that makes me feel like this happened today.
It's a sad elephant.
Because Laisha Clarendon was cut by the Liberty. They've been cut to make room for Natasha Howard coming back. Yeah, okay, fair enough. You want to get Natasha Howard into your team, reigning champion. You know, was that close to winning the Euro Cup. Won domestically in Italy. She's awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it's Laisha Clarendon, man. Like, come on. Sad eyes.
When you have players of the caliber of Laisha Clarendon, Lexi Brown, Sid Colson that are not playing in the league at the moment, hopefully someone will pick them up. Expand the league, because this is nonsense. Like, Clarendon had one of their best scoring seasons ever last year, and they're not on a roster. Expand it. I hate to see it. Like, I don't know what I need to probably dig into it a bit more, but say someone gets injured, can they be picked up, mid-season? Do clubs still have to honour the contracts of maybe an injured player, or is it going to be that they have to release someone in order to sign someone else? I don't know if it differs situation by situation, but I know the Liberty, obviously they're looking at going younger. Clarendon didn't really play in the first game. I think they only played about 3 minutes. But you'd think sort of the leadership they bring, everything that happened in the Wubble, as a spokesperson, just the leadership from so many years in the league, and the fact that they're a really good player, someone needs to pick them up. I think New York had to make the decision with Howard coming back. Obviously, Jocelyn Willoughby got injured in pre-season or training whilst she was with the team. And if New York were to cut her, she wouldn't get paid, I believe. So they've obviously made the decision to keep her and pay her while she's injured rather than cut a player that's injured who then has no income for the year. And if it's that kind of thing it comes down to, you can understand that, maybe that's not a situation you want to put yourselves as an organisation in or the player in. But it sucks. I want Clarendon hot.
Yeah, it doubly sucks because she was they were their best player last year. And
pretty much, yeah.
They were the glue that bound that ridiculous situation together.
Yeah.
No disrespect to New York Liberty there, I suppose, but because Ionescu getting hurt, that's out of your control, blah blah. But Clarendon was it. Clarendon was it for you guys, and it's unfortunate. I don't know. I don't think that's on the cards, but who knows?
So what do you see today? I think a few people on Twitter were suggesting Minnesota and Indiana could do with a guard, which yeah. But I don't know how the roster cap works and how you go about signing someone. There's too many quality players not on a team.
Get Clarendon back in the league.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen.
This
ASAP.
Finally finish this.
ASAP.
Yeah.
All right, Cazzy B. It is. It's actually 10 o'clock, so we should probably wrap this up. Ordinarily, we're chilling and eating chocolate by now. So, firstly, where can people find you? I can't find you. Hang on.
Hoopin Cazzy B on Twitter, and for anybody that's been following the WBBL this season and hasn't followed the WNBA before, one, get involved in the WNBA because it's awesome. League pass is £12.60 a whole season. You get all the games all season, and there's a little thread, well, not a little, a posted thread, a bit of fun on my Twitter that equates your WBBL team with a WNBA team to follow. So, if you like Cardiff and Steph Collins, who is a player and is a player coach, go look at Indiana, who had Tamika Catchings, who's a player and a GM. Tenuous links like that. You've got a team for you out there. So, and there's a really cool journalist called Robo Cho that made some little information sheets about why you should follow each team. So I've linked to them and credited them.
Nice.
With some really cool information on.
Excellent. Is there anywhere else people could find you?
Not for the next couple of weeks.
All right. No worries. I remain on Twitter. Not super active. I've been posting pictures of first cricket net session in about 2 years yesterday. Whilst representing the WNBA. And I tried to throw a ball for my dog today, and that hurt a lot because, haven't bowled a cricket ball in 2 years. Anyway, that was all. Thank you, as always, to the iconic Robyn Love for joining us. Just always great fun. And huge thank you to you if you've checked out the episode, if you checked it out today. And as always, thank you to Notch. Go and check them out. Go and get yourself a beautiful Notch to celebrate your sporting achievement. We're going to be off.
Sorry, can I just correct the tag for the Twitter I just mentioned? It's at ROBOCOKO, Roboco.
Roboco. There you go. Check out Roboco. They did some wonderful work about why you should be a fan
of the Atlanta Dream.
The Dallas Wings. That's right. All right. That's enough of us. By far, that's enough of us. We'll talk to you again Thursday.